Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me as soon as we get some people rolling in here. Been a while since I did a live stream, so figured I'd do a little update on how business is going. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Sometimes this doesn't always work that great. Let me know in the chat if the audio's coming in. I can hear you. Okay, sweet. All right. First and foremost, I want to say I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know my family and we had a blast. I invited the family over to my place. You know, since it's kind of a new house, I just had everybody come over to my place, and we had a great Thanksgiving dinner. You know, with all the fixings, we had everything, man. It was this. I even ate Thanksgiving food today. That's how much we had. And I'm pretty sure we gave half of it away to the other family members, but there's just still so much. Just couldn't. I mean, we're still eating it. So, I mean, it was a great, really, really good Thanksgiving. And I got to be honest, I got so much to be thankful for. And, you know, I'm very blessed. I cannot describe to you guys how blessed I am. Over here living that peasant life, as some people may say. You know, so I just wanted to give you guys a little update on the fleet. I just bought two Kenworths, two T800s. One of them is a tractor. It's a 3-axle tractor right now, but I'm gonna be getting a drop axle for it and putting a side dump trailer behind it. And then I got a 4-axle dump truck. It's a T800 as well. And it's not plumbed for a pup trailer yet, but I'm going to get it plumbed. Just passed my tanker today. Hey, yeah, brother. Good to see you out there. Whew, that sun is bright as a mofo right now. I can't see nothing. But yeah, so I got two new to me Kenworths. They're not new. They're 90s models. So you know, I got a little bit of work to do on them. I was on the hunt for a dump truck since August. Literally since August, I've been on the hunt to buy one dump truck. That's what my goal was to buy just one. And then somehow I ended up with two trucks. So let me just kind of walk you through how that whole process went, right? You know, as an experienced truck owner, dump truck business owner operator slash, you know, I've been driving for over 10 years. Mechanic for going on 7 now. You know, that's how long I've been working on dump trucks. It's about 7 years now. Because I bought my 85 Peterbilt back in 2017. It was the end of 2017, so we'll call it 6 years. 6 years truck mechanic. You know, general jack of all trades. So I started back in August looking at trucks. My number one spots to go that I was looking for trucks was I would look on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I'm not too big on the commercial truck trader thing because 99% of those trucks are miles away. And what the hell are you doing, bro? Are you freaking retarded? Did you not see that trailer there? You're about to get ran off the road, you moron. I'm over here cruising along. This guy's supposed to merge, and what does he do? He just sits there right in between my truck and my trailer the whole time. Like, dude, you almost suicided yourself. Wow. Okay, so, anyways, back to my good story. So I'm looking at trucks, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Not too big on the truck trader thing. Ritchie Brothers. My buddy's always sending me Murphy's Auction stuff, which I need to get on that one too. You know, I really need to get on that one because there's some good ones on there too. And I don't know, I feel like Murphy's Auction isn't as well known as Ritchie Brothers, at least in Washington. I don't think Murphy's is as big, not even close to as big as Ritchie Brothers. Obviously, Ritchie Brothers is like the king of auction houses. So, you know, nobody competes against them. But around here, Murphy's is pretty big, apparently. So, so I was looking and looking and looking, and the first dump trucks that I was really interested in was at the auction, right? I went to the auction. That was in September, right? And I was looking at, I had my eye on one that I really, really wanted, you know, but they had a whole bunch of Fisher trucks just coming into the auction. And I was like, man, this is going to work out good. This is going to work out great. All these dump trucks, right before winter, nobody's going to be buying trucks. They're going to go for cheap. That's what I was thinking. But Ritchie Brothers advertised the beans out of them. And like 20 million dump truck people wanted to buy dump trucks for some reason. I don't know why, but they all wanted to buy dump trucks. And the prices were astronomical. You know, so I'm like, yeah, nope. I almost bought a T800. It was like a 96 Kenworth transfer. I was literally $2,000 away from winning the bid on that one. And, you know, I thought it was going to go for under 70, you know, and it said 69. I clicked the bid. It went up to 7,200. And then I was like, oh, I might. Nope. Boom. Somebody else hit it for 74, and then it hit one more time for 76 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really think that truck was worth 76 grand personally. Like, I would have paid like 70 was a stretch for me. Like, it was going to be kind of a stretch for that truck, you know. I would have made it work though, right? So I was just like, not for me. Trucks are going too high. I just kept looking at everything, looking at all the sites. Every single day, man, I'd be on there looking at trucks and scrolling. You know, maybe not every day, maybe every other day or twice a week or something. You know, something crazy like that. We got to get out of this lane. This lane's going way too slow. Shoot, $5 grand is a stretch for me. How hard is it to get contact with businesses to get contacts? It's pretty easy, man. All you do is just start introducing yourself to people and just start, you know, just cold calling. You can start by cold calling, you know, or every time you see a job site, pull up to the job site, start handing out business cards. It's that easy, man. Like, The only thing that's holding you back, the only difficult part about it is all in your brain, man. That's the only roadblock you got, is yourself from making contacts. I mean, unless you're ugly or you stink or, you know, or you're driving a tweaker mobile, I mean, you'll be fine. Like, you got any one of those three, you might have a little bit of, you know, trouble. But if you're normal, you know, normal car, you know, presentable, boom, easy contacts, dude. You make contacts all day long. You look them in the eye and, you know, shake their hand and boom. That's how it's done. You know, real recognize real. That's just the way it is. So yeah, the auction, they went too high. I was like, yeah. Oh, but I messed up one detail about the auction. There was one truck I was eyeballing, like, Grandpa went to the auction with me to look at the trucks. We looked them all over. I had a notepad. I was writing down every single truck, everything that I found about it, you know, like what I thought it was worth. Boom, boom, boom. I had like 2 pages of just friggin' notes after notes after notes after specs after specs after specs, right? Because all that stuff factors in, like it really does. Like, if truck don't have lockers, that's important in dump truck world. You know, like if a truck has a high lift gate, that has value, right? If it's an automatic, that adds more value than a manual. You know what I mean? $150K, that's good money to start. Should be pretty easy. Oh yeah, 150,000, dude. If you can't make it work with honestly, if you can't make it work with 75, you probably don't belong in a dump truck. That's my honest opinion. Like, I started out with an $8,000 dump truck and $10,000 in the bank. Like, that's what I started out with. You know, granted, that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago when I bought the truck. 6 years since I've been in business. You know, dude, that guy just left his. I don't know if that's. I don't know if I leave my stuff like that, but guy's got his binder sitting right on his frame rail somehow. Yeah, see, yeah, Blake's got it down right there. That's how you do it right there. If you're in it to make money and you don't have an ego, that's all it takes right there. You buy a $20,000 truck and you put that thing to work. You know, like literally, that's how easy it is. You know, you're gonna have a lot of headaches, but the profit's gonna be there. You like 99.9% of the time. Like, you may get, you know, you may get some bad luck and buy a truck with a blown motor or something, you know, and be out a headache up front, you know, but that don't happen to most people, I would hope, you know. If it happens to you, you got some bad karma. That's all I'm gonna say. So, anyways, I have my eye on this one T800 Kenworth. It was 96 blue. I was like, man, this is the truck I want, Grandpa. I'm gonna bid high on this one. I'll pay. I would pay up to 75 grand for this truck. Grandpa's like, okay, yeah, I think so too. And I was talking to my sales buddy Noah. He's like, you see any trucks you like, Brian? I'm like, yeah, buddy. And he's like, I was like, I like that blue one, but I didn't see it on the website. He's like, yeah, we had to pull it because the registration and the VIN were one number off, and they're working on getting it fixed as clerical error. And I'm like, what? Like, because that's the one I wanted. And I was like, man, that's just not cool, man. And I'm like, hey, Just tell the guy I'll buy it right now. 75 grand. Just tell him. Like, take it off the auction block. It's already sold. You know. He's like, oh, we can't do that. I'll sell it to you for 200 with all the advertising I got invested into this thing. I'm like, dude, you're tripping. Nobody's gonna pay that for that. You're tripping. And he's like, I can't. So it's gonna sell this December. You know. It's a really nice truck. It does have a major, well, I don't know if it's major or not, but I checked it out, looked it over pretty good. It does got a PTO leak, you know, which to me is like a pretty easy fix to have a decent, like, good bones truck, you know, that looks decent too, not just totally clapped out by a whole bunch of drivers that have been slip seating the truck, you know. All right, finally into some fog here. How much can someone make as an owner operator? I hear now is not as good time to get your owner authority because of insurance and cost of trucking. You know, it's what you make it, man. That's at the end of the day. I'll be honest. When Trump was president, I was making a lot more money. I was making way more money, and I was charging less, and I was making way more money because the cost of operation was a lot lower. Like, the cost of fuel, like, dude, the cost of fuel went up astronomically. And that killed a lot of the profit. But, I mean, there's still a lot of good money in trucking, you know. The main thing is just, you gotta stay busy. You gotta stay busy, and you can't be undercutting everybody. You know, that's, a lot of guys, they think they can just undercut people. I seen this post on Pierce County dump truckers. The guy was like, I can't keep my truck busy for $100 an hour. And I was like, dude, for $100 an hour, I'll put you to work all day long. But guess what? You ain't gonna be around next year to work because $100 an hour ain't paying enough, man. That ain't covering it. You know, he's trying to undercut everybody, and it's like, dude, you can't really do that. Like, for one, in Washington, we're pretty good. Like, I would like to say we're one of the best states to work in as an owner-operator because there's not as much, like, cutthroat fuckery going on. Like, as in, like, other states. When they're so over-trucked, people will be trucking for, like, $75 an hour or some crazy crap, right? People won't do that in Washington. Like, I mean, there are a couple people that undercut, but there's not enough of them that it makes a big impact on the whole market, if you get my drift. So I didn't buy that Kenworth. I was really interested in it. Didn't get it. I was waiting for it. I was gonna buy it, but I just kept looking, and I even tried to buy my old truck back. I posted on the Facebook. I got in contact with the new owner. So he's the second owner after I sold it. So I sold it last September. And since this September, he's the second owner. So the first owner bought it for the 20 grand, was hauling a pup around, and he cracked the frame. Then he sold it to this guy for 35. And I messaged him and called him up, and I'm like, hey, man, I want to buy that truck. He's like, I'll sell it to you for 50. I'm like, bro, that ain't worth 50 on its best day. There's no way, dude. Now with the Detroit in it, you're tripping, dude. I owned that truck for 5 years. That truck is not worth that. You're crazy. And he dropped the price down to 37, and I was like, that's still too high, man. I ain't gonna pay that for that. I told him most I pay is 30. You know, because I know what that truck needs. I know what it needs. And for sentimental reasons, I was going to buy it back and fix it up. But I was like, yeah, he wants too much, he can keep it. You know, I had a little emotional spurt there where I wanted my truck back, but I'm like, yeah, screw that. I'd rather have the money. So then I went to look at a 94 Peterbilt. A younger guy, he owns a whole bunch of solo trucks in Washington. I'm not going to name names or nothing, so no feelings get all bent out of shape. I'm just going to say this. He owns like 5 or 6 solo trucks, and he's selling one of them, and he wants like 75 grand for it. And from the pictures, it looks like a deal. Like 75 for that? Hell yeah, sign me up. It's got a polished aluminum box, polished wheels, polished fuel tank. The paint looks immaculate. And then I show up with my brother, and my brother's with me, right? And my grandpa was like 30 minutes behind me, right? He was going to look at the truck with me, right? And I get there, and the fender, you know how there's a fender flare, right? Like the back 1/3 of the fender was completely broke off, but held on with 3 metal straps with like 2, 4, 6 rivets or 6 bolts or something. Like it was literally just like going like this in the wind, like completely broke. Like that's gonna need some major repair. Which I mean, that's one day to fix that. That's not what made me say no to the truck. But it's just funny how that shit never ends up in the Facebook post. It never comes up in Messenger. It never comes up like, hey man, tell me about the truck. Tell me about okay. On the phone he did tell me it needs some minor fiberglass repair. I would not consider that minor in my book. That's not minor in my book. Maybe minor in his. Maybe he's rebuilt the whole hood, I guess, but not me. Yeah, see, Blake's right there. I mean, there's no point in firing a truck up for under a good rate. There really isn't. You just lose money, you know, or you end up working for free, which, why do that, you know? Just save your money and then just ride it out and work when the work's good, and when it's not, just ride it out, you know? This guy's swerving all over the place. Yeah, so I get my jack out. No, I didn't even get the jack out. The truck had already been warmed up. The drop axles are off the ground, right? So I go up to the first one, boom, boom, worn out kingpin. Go over to the second one, the kingpin wasn't worn out, but the wheel bearing was shot, right? Crawl underneath the, you know, shaking the drive line, the input shaft, the seal for the front differential leaking. The second shaft, the second drive shaft from the first, what are they called? The intermediate drive shaft. The drive shaft in between the 2 pumpkins. That one, like, literally had, like, probably almost a 1/4 inch of play in it. Like, dude, what the flip? Like, these are shot, dude. They're shot. They need replaced now, like yesterday. And he wasn't even there, but he had his buddy. I don't know if his buddy was the mechanic or just who he was. I don't know. And I'm like, bro, like, he wants 75 for this? Like, I'm just like pointing out all the stuff. Like, dude, there's no way. He's dreaming, you know? And so I look at my brother. I'm like, dude, I don't even need to start the truck up. The kid was asking, like, hey, you want to start it up? You want to take it for a test drive? I'm like, no, at this point, I don't even need to take it for a test drive, man. I already know it's not the truck for me. Not for 75 G's, you know. 30,000, yeah, I'd pay you 30,000 for it. But, you know, not more than that. Not with the stuff it needs, you know. It looks pretty from 20 feet away. Any closer than that, and the DOT officer is gonna, you know, give you the, he's gonna give you the swab, and you're gonna be bleeding, you know. And I have to drive past the scale every day to work, so that ain't happening for me. You know, where he lives, he don't drive past any scales, so he's golden, you know, where he's at. But I'm not going to put my drivers through that kind of risk. And so I just politely said, you know, I don't think I could buy this truck for that price. Thank you for your time, you know. And he sent me a message, well, what's your offer, you know? And I didn't even respond because I'm like, dude, I don't want to offend the guy. You know, maybe he has a lot of money into it. I don't know, but whatever the thing is I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. Some guy will buy it for that. I'm not the guy that's going to buy it for that. You know, and that's where I was at. You know, I didn't want to hurt his feelings or offend him, you know, but that was not the truck for me. So, took off. That was a 94 Kenworth. No, 94 Peterbilt. 94 Peterbilt with the Detroit 60 series in it. 18 speed. 4-axle. And then I seen looked like a smoking deal come up on Facebook Marketplace. It was a 96 Peterbilt. It had a 3406B cat, 18 speed, high lift gate, 5-axle truck, right? So 2 drop axles. And the guy wanted $60,000 for that. And I was like, yeah, that looks like a good price for that truck from the pictures, right? 2-hour drive down to Kelso, look at it. I just rolled up and I'm like, man, this thing is a beater, you know? Tons of stuff wrong with it, like the steps to get in the cab were broken, right? They were all cracked. The drop axle, the whole mounting assembly, like where it mounts to the frame, all cracked out. I would have had to take both those off and freaking weld them all up. I mean, that would have been at least a week's worth of work for me to do on my own time. If I would have had to hire a shop, it would have just been cheaper to probably just buy new drop axles at that point, you know. So the hood, where it comes up to the windshield, it was a good repair, but you could tell that it wasn't. I mean, you couldn't really tell that it wasn't factory until you pop the hood, and then you're like, whoa. Where basically the top of the hood, next to the windshield it was cracked out or worn out or something, and they had done stainless steel 2 strips coming down, and it looked really good. They did a really good job. Whoever did that repair, spot on that repair. Not the other repairs, but that one was spot on. And then the back window was broken, and oh no, it didn't even have a back window. What they had done was they took a piece of stainless steel, cocked it, and freaking did these freaking self-tapping screws right into the back of the truck all the way around. Like, it was like, whoa, dude, like, what the, like, okay, this was we need this truck fixed tonight, no matter what it takes. I don't care how you fix it. I don't want that thing leaking, or that type of deal. Like, what were they thinking? Like, they should have just downed the truck, fixed it properly, and just went on with their day. But they botched that repair. And after seeing that, I was like, man, I don't know. 60,000 steep. I went up to the guy. I said, "Look, man, I'll offer you 50,000 for the truck. Honestly, I think that's high. 60 for it. I'm not gonna pay that for that truck." And the guy said, "Well, we already got an offer at 57, so I'll let you know if anything happens." And I said, "Okay." So I took off, and that was we didn't get that truck. There was another truck that I was gonna look at, but it was freaking all the way in Maple Valley, which it's like a 3-hour drive from my house. And the guy's like, "Yeah, it's a clean truck, this and that." If I had to do any, I asked him, this is one of my staple questions. I said, "Hey, man, if you own the truck for 5 more years, what's some of the repairs that it's gonna need in 5 years? What's the next big repair do you think it's gonna need?" And the guy's like, "Well, if the truck, like, what did he say? He basically said the truck needs an in-frame, but I ain't doing it." That's basically what he said. And it's a 60 series Detroit, so that's a couple grand, And it's just like, you want 70,000 for a truck, and it needs an in-frame within 2 years? Like, come on, bro. Like, what the heck? You're crazy, man. So then I just got sick of looking at dump trucks, and I was just like, okay, these people are freaking hitting the meth pipe before they list their ads. I'm gonna go look at tractors, and I'm gonna try converting a truck. Why not? I'll convert a truck. I know what is important on dump trucks. I'll look for a good tractor that's already set up, or I'll buy a side dump. That's what I was thinking. I'll either convert it or side dump it. So then I went and looked at this. One of the trucks that I ended up buying, I went and looked at it. The guy had it listed very cheap. Very cheap. Well, he had it listed 2 times. One was through the roof expensive, because he was selling it with the trailer that he had, which is an end dump trailer. And then just the tractor alone, considerably cheaper. And, the guy had it listed for $25,000, and I went and looked at it. Wet kit, 3-axle truck. I went and looked at it. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to pay you that for that. Like, I looked at it, and I'm like, back window's broken. It looks like it's got 4 wheel seals blown. So how do I know what shape the freaking axles are in? The drive shaft didn't have any play, but but if the wheel seals are blown, how much fluid is in the differential? Like, how long they've been running it like that? That's what you got to ask yourself, And a couple of the torsion rods, the rubber's breaking out of it. I mean, there's work readily available and everything. Yeah, I said cash. And okay, here come the trollers. Is Justin watching my stream again? So, anyways, I told the guy he owned a couple trucks. He was more of a excavation business than dump trucking, right? And I told the mechanic, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'd probably pay, I lowballed him. I said, I'd pay $15,000 for that, because of just the paint. Really, the paint job was just absolutely hideous, in my opinion. Absolutely hideous. I'm like, yeah, I don't want that truck. So I'll lowball him, and if he says yes, then hey, I'll swing it, And so I offered him, I was like, I'll give you 15 for it. But the other truck right next to it, 155, I'll give you 30 for that, right? And he never responded. Well, he responded. He said, "No, I got 3 people interested in looking at it tomorrow. And plus, I'd never sell it for 15." And I said, "Okay, no sweat off my back," and just kind of deaded the conversation. He never mentioned anything about the other truck. And like 2 weeks go by, a week go by, and he says, "I'll sell you both trucks for $55,000." And I'm like, 55 for both trucks? Damn, I would have paid 55 for the other one personally. Like, I didn't say that, but you know, because I just lowballed him on both of them. I'm like, I mean, it's worth at least 60,000 all day long. Relatively marketed compared to what's on the market. Like, if I compare that truck to the trucks I look at, that truck could easily sell for 60,000 all day long. It's in way better shape than all of those other trucks. The bad part about it is the grill was kind of messed up, right? Which a lot of people don't like fixing cosmetic things for some reason. They just hate fixing cosmetic stuff. So, anyways, he said 55, and I said, "I'll give you 45,000." And he said, what did he say? He said 50. And I said 49, and you got a deal. And he said, "Done." So I went, picked him up, 49,000, 2 trucks for 49 grand. That is a steal right there, man. So I got them both home, looked them over real good, tied up some wiring on the dump truck. It had a lot of wiring things that were just kind of way like nightmare ready to happen, basically, is what it was. Like, dude, if you don't take care of this stuff, this is going to be the bane of your existence. So I was like, yeah, I'll tie up the wiring. I already did that video of the steering. The steering was off on the dump truck. When they did work on the steering box, they didn't put it in the right groove, and it was off. It was steering farther to the right than it was the left. That was like a 30-minute fix for me. And his mechanic probably didn't know how to fix it, so I don't know what to say. Like, so I just fixed that easy, 30 minutes. You know, the grill, I got a new grill coming for that. I got some fiberglass repair to do on that. The bottom bracket was bent. I already straightened that out. I didn't even do a video of it because you guys don't really want to see me just hammering on a piece of metal, like, or maybe you do, I don't know. They're not, those two aren't out making that money, but the new trucks were out making money today. Got both my hose on a job site. You know how it is. I'm pimping them hose. Them hoes are out there making that money, so they're on a clearing job. I'll be done with that at least maybe 2 more days, maybe a day, depending on how things go on the job site. If the rain holds off, I can button it up a lot quicker. And drink some water. You'll sell me a Hitachi? Uh-oh. What's wrong with your machine, Blake? What's wrong with it? Your problem couldn't be nearly as bad as the problem I have with my big one. I got it out onto my first job site. It was like supposed to be like a pro bono thing, right? I wasn't even going to get paid for the job I was doing. It was more of a favor to a guy who did me a favor. And I freaking backed over the bucket and popped a hole in the oil pan. So then I had to pay a mechanic to come out, pull the whole motor out, and slap a new oil pan on it. Because you can't get the oil pan out the bottom. The hole's not big enough. The oil pan won't clear the crankshaft. Yeah, that was fun. Psych. Half on a whole bunch of jobs I have lined up. I'll buy it for $15,000 if you pay the shipping. That's what I pay for mine. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. So I've been. Oh yeah. So the dump truck, I tidied up the wiring. It's gonna need some new tires. That company, they just run like recaps and stuff. They got some crappy tires on it. I'm gonna put all new tires on it and sand it down and paint it because it's white and the white is chipping off of it and it's got blue underpaint and the box had gold underpaint. It just looked like complete bird crap. It's getting all redone. It's gonna be you're gonna have to find out in one of the next videos I do. Can't give you all the secrets out on this live stream. So at 45, bet you would, brother. So yeah, gonna sand that down, get that painted. And I'm going to get a plumb for a pup trailer. It's not plumb for a pup trailer yet, but it's going to get plumb for a pup trailer. It already has the fennel hitch set up and everything. It just needs to be plumb for a pup. Then it'll be ready to rock and roll come springtime. And then the tractor, oh, damn, traffic just came to a halt. We got the tractor that had some, like I said, I thought the wheel seals were blown on them. I pulled all 8 tires off, pulled 2 of the drums off. Come to find out, what they did was they put new brakes on it, and then the guy greased the living daylights out of the S-cam. And all the grease came out of the S-cam and friggin' landed in the drum, spun it around, and it was coming out, and it looked like a blown wheel seal. They just over-greased all the S-cams. So, worst case scenario, I got to do S-cam bushing kit. I got to check to see if they're sloppy or not. I haven't done that yet. I bought new tires for that because that needed 8 tires all the way around. Those tires were shot. They were all shot, except for the steer tires. Steer tires on that truck were brand new. Yeah, that truck definitely getting sanded down. That one's gonna get painted in a future video. You'll probably have to watch that. Yep. I can't give it all out there. Yeah, dude, he did like maybe 40 pumps on the S-cam. Maybe probably like a half a tube of grease on each of them. Because there was literally a clump of grease this big next to the S-cam. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, a little overkill, don't you think? Okay, I gotta get over. This is getting redonkulous. Okay, and this dingleberry's got his brights on. Maybe it's not worth getting over. Look at this. Look at this jack. Look at this jackalope, as my buddy John would say. His cantaloupe. Jackalope. I better turn my turn signal off. These people are never going to let me over if I leave it on. Okay, here we go. Here's our shot. Flip it on. Swing over. Yeah, they don't like to let truck and trailers over, man. I'll tell you what. Yeah! Yeah, he did. He figured if you grease them good enough, yeah. Yeah. You definitely never have to replace brake pads again. Unless they caught fire. Yeah. So, that's that. So I picked up two Kenworths and getting them ready. That's my winter project pretty much when I'm slow. Getting those bad boys all painted up and ready. That's the nice thing when you pay cash for stuff. It doesn't matter if they work. Like, it really doesn't matter. They can just sit there. It's not costing me anything. Potential revenue, that's it. Like, if I fixed them up faster, if I, just totally busted them out and found work for them, then potential revenue. But when you pay cash for something, if it's broke and it just sits there and you don't have time to fix it, it just sits there. It don't cost you nothing. Like, unless it's insured, then it costs you a little bit, for insurance. But, it's in a locked yard. Why are you putting insurance on it? You know what I mean? Unless you suspect the thing's going to magically catch fire. you know? But, yeah, for resident. Senior citizen resident. But, yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. Somebody asked me if I was still training. Every day, brother. Every day. I still do my Justin is gay push-ups. Every day. But anyways, guys, it was nice hopping on here. It was nice chatting with you guys. Giving you a little update on the fleet. How I professionally went about buying 2 more trucks this round. Unlike the first time I bought my first dump truck. For some reason, my eyes are like super tired right now. Whew. This traffic is atrocious, man. This is just redonkulous. This is just stupid. This Amazon driver's like, F you, dude. I'm coming over. You better hit them binders. He's like, I don't give up. I'm coming over. That's what he said. That's what I do too. When traffic's like this, it's like, dude, my turn signal is to notify you I'm coming over. There's no if, and, or buts. I'm coming over whether you want to or not. There ain't no discussion. When this truck starts turning, it's turning. That's the way you got to be in a TNT, man, because they will not let you in. If you don't just push it in, they'll never let you in. They absolutely hate being behind truck and trailers or semis because they can't see over them or around them. They just hate it, you know? And they're so long, 75 feet. Yeah, exactly, Blake. That's exactly how it goes. I mean, what I do is I put my turn signal on 200 feet. If they ain't let me over at 200 feet, boom, my wheels turn. I'm coming over. I've never rammed somebody. I've gotten really damn close though. I just start inching my way over, and then the people, they kind of get choked off because the trailer comes around, and they got nothing else to do. They can't do anything. You know what I mean? They got nothing to do. Either they run into my trailer, or they hit the brakes, and they just let me in. So, yeah, that is a cool looking sunset. I don't know if you guys can see it in my window. It's pretty sweet. You guys notice that? V for VANDUYN. Custom right there, baby. Custom. Yeah. Have you ever heard of somebody putting a urinal in their house? Like, I'd understand it if both dudes were gay. That's the only way. That's the only reason to put a urinal in your house if you're gay and you got a husband. Oh, that's funny. His wife must be trans or something. I don't know. She don't like to sit down when she pees. So, anyways, all right, brothers. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Had to poke at Justin just a little bit there at the end. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to pound that like button, pound that subscribe button. As always. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that in a garage. I can see a urinal in a garage. Or in a shop. But not your house. Not in your house. Like that. No. That's just weird. Like, what kind of people do you got coming over that they can't even hit a toilet? That's real peasantry right there. If they can't even pee in a toilet without hitting the toilet seat. Or think about it this way. If they don't even have the respect to wipe up after themselves, dude, if somebody ever comes over to my house and they pee on the toilet seat and they don't wipe it up and clean that, oh, hell no. They're never coming back to my house ever again, dude. If somebody ever disrespects me like that, oh, hell no. No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to get drunk that much. I've I've never done that type of thing, so I don't know anything about it. But all I can say is, there's no way, dude. If somebody, yeah, no, yeah, no. I think it's for his wife personally. I think it's for his wife personally, but I I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to get into that too much. I think his wife peace standing. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I probably won't do any more videos until I got a really good update. So it might be another month or so. I don't know. Maybe a month. Maybe before Christmas or something, I'll pop in and say hi. But all you guys that are all my buddies, you guys already, I already talk to you guys on a daily basis. So, you know, whenever got a question, hit me up or something. You know, if you want to shoot the can, you already got me on Messenger. So I'll stay out of trouble. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a good one.